Good Sunday, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's well. It's been an interesting day. Kind of woke up a little late. I kind of went to bed a little early after I made my video. I did a couple more things and then I went to bed. I got some good rest, only to wake up to have snow. So it's been snowing here. The temperature is really not bad, which is pretty good. It definitely warmed up. I'd say we're in the 20s compared to all the negative digits we've had in the last couple weeks. I'll take the 20s. We're going to get into this Model Cars and Coffee Day right after this intro, and we'll let you know what we're going to do today. Be right back. Alrighty, so today for Model Cars and Coffee, and I just got done, me and the wife both were out shoveling and brushing off the vehicles, stuff like that. And so I decided that I don't have a ton of time today, but I want to get something accomplished. And so I went and grabbed one of my old race cars from remote control days that I definitely want to fully restore. It was something that I started to do and then I just got sidetracked. So I'll get into more details on that. So let's just flip this camera around and I'll show you what we're looking at here. All right, so what we got here is one of the NASCAR pan cart deals. This here was the Protoform Charger, which was very popular in that era. This would be about 2005-ish, 2006-ish, something in that neighborhood. This is on the KSG Gen 2 platform chassis. We'll take the body off here in a minute and I'll kind of show you some of the things that what we've got to try and do and restore it. And you can see it's been kind of dusty. We did, when we moved in here about a year after, we ran across this and it was sitting down in the basement man cave area on the shelf. And so it gets dusted regularly, but we're going to polish that body up. This here again was an airbrush deal that I did. Everything other than these headlights are stickers. Everything else is painted on there. So that's my number. So we did kind of a carbon fiber and then we did it in a green just to kind of put a green weave in it. We were experimenting at that time, but for this car, this thing was a one and done race for me because we went to the Oval Master Fall Shootout that was in Omaha, Nebraska, and I had two cars set up for that race in two different classes, and it was really cool to see hard work pay off. And I ended up winning both classes. This was the Pro Modified. Here's a really cool picture of me and my son sitting by both of the cars that I ran that day. And this one was the 13.5 Super Stock first place. And this one is the one that we're showcasing right here. And this was the Pro Modified 10.5 car. And we won first place. And that's the premise of this video, is that it was so cool to, my son went with me everywhere when we went to the big track, when we went to RC events, all that stuff. He's about 5 years old in that thing, 4 or 5. And that's what these hobbies are all about, is that for me, my father got me into these hobbies, and my son is involved with these hobbies now too. And you know, this is inspiration, and a lot of us can agree to that. I know, like Paul and Joe and Bruce, and you know, most of the guys, they have kids and they got into it from their parents. So really cool thing. And this is what, you know, model cars led into many years later, is me to keep trying to practice with airbrush. I was the only one that ever taught me how to airbrush was me, and that was due to trial and error and practice, and eventually you'll get some results. So let's put the camera down, and we will get this body off of there. Alrighty, so back in this timeline, we screwed all the bodies down on these cars. These cars were very aero sensitive, just like the real cars. So the shape of the body, where the body is located on the car, is all critical. The body mount material was critical. This car has the aluminum body mounts on it. Nowadays, things are a little different. Some guys are clipping all 4 points. Some guys are doing clips in the front, screws in the back. They've also moved the posts to here versus up here for lower CG. So you can see here, this is the KSG Gen 2 car. Let me get you back over here. These cars had adjustable plates here in the front to locate the front suspension width-wise and length, just the wheelbase. You could put trailing or leading on each side if you wanted. They were offset chassis. These are where the 4 battery cells would go. Your speed controller back here, your motor in here, your receiver up here. Of course, we've got a servo in here right now. So what I want to do is put this thing completely back to the way I last ran it. So I have the speed controller that will go back here that came out of this car. It got, you know, pulled out and used for racing. We retired the car, but not the electronics. And then I have the original receiver. We've got to rewire all that stuff, and then I've got to find a motor that we ran that brand. So we're on the eBay hunt right now, trying to find the 10.5 Novak motor that was used in that day. In this day and age, you don't see spur gears that tall anymore. The motors are changed quite a bit. So, but this was a cool car. I enjoyed the heck out of this thing. There's a lot of hours in putting these cars together. You can see all the different adjustments here on how you're going to mount that rear suspension. You can change the rear steer in the car. They have a 3-shock system up in the back here. There is some little teeny springs right down there, so you can change the rate of those springs, the amount of shims. This one's got the nitrite kingpins in it. There's a lot of adjustments to these cars that a lot of people always took for granted on these things, but they're a lot more complicated than they look. We had these big aluminum shock mounts that had infinity amount of holes to change the angle of that center shock. The newer pan cars are considerably different. Everything's evolved. The materials have gotten even more exotic on what materials are on the left side weight, built around lipo cars. This car was built around brush motors at the time and 4-cell cell batteries versus today's standards. You'd run a 1-cell lipo in there that would be in that 4.25 volt range. So very cool. Again, we're gonna clean this guy up and we're gonna start putting all the electronics back in this thing so it's fully complete. That's the goal here, is to make this thing fully complete, and then we can put it back on the shelf after we've done spit shined it a bit, and be a great memorabilia piece. Now that we kind of got a game plan to spit shine this thing and put it all back into its running condition. Like I said, we just got to track down a motor, and then she'll be whole again. Then it goes back on the shelf. with the picture and where the plaques are. That way there, when I'm dead and gone, my son will still have this memory, and the cars will be the way they were in this picture, minus the batteries, because you don't leave the batteries in these cars, and those batteries non-exist anymore, really. This car here, the 13.5 car, I found the body, so we do have that body, and we have the chassis. The chassis doesn't have tires, and it doesn't have the rear axle. I carnivored the axle out of it for another car a long time ago, but now that things have changed with the rear axles and the lightness of them, I can now put the axle back in this chassis. I have all the parts to put this back the way it was in that picture when we had success with that car. So that's the main thing, and then I do have all the electronics for this, and I'll probably have to find the motor for that one as well. I probably have the motor, the 13.5, for that one. So the goal here is to eventually have both of these cars done and sitting with their trophies that are downstairs, along with this picture. I don't even remember who took this picture when we were at that event. There was quite a few of us guys that went down from Minnesota to Omaha to run that race. Very popular race at the time. This was the BRL, the Brushless Racing League, that Sonny Brown had put on. So a lot of fun. Omaha is that's a hobbyplex down there. That's just a beautiful facility. So a lot of great memories in there. But like I said, just another prime example of, my parents got me into this hobby. My parents got me into modeling, which led into the RC. And then I was doing the same thing, and still am, with my son. My son loved going to the races, and then when he was old enough to finally do it, he did it as well, and he still does it whenever we get the chance to go. So let me flip this back around. So there you have it. That's going to be my model cars and coffee for today. Little story, little inspiration that if you get these kids doing something positive when they're young, they're going to do positive things as they get older. You kind of instill some values, and you instill some skill set, right? I mean, it just seems like today's age, they're trying to do everything possible to make you not want to do things yourself. I mean, fix your car, change your oil, fix your house, whatever. These corporations just want you to, pay for it. Just call a tech, call this, call that. And that's fine and dandy. I get it. Everybody's not going to know how to fix everything. But if you can fix a few things, at least in your direct lives, you're going to save money, So then you have money to do other things with your families and stuff like that. But again, these hobbies are great. The modeling, when I got going at 6 years old, led to slot cars. It led to these RC cars. We did these RC cars for a lot of years. Still do it, but we do it on a very part-time schedule because we have so many other things going on all the time. And now we're back into this model venture again, and it's just so awesome. And a bunch of us have said it time and time again, is that we're in a golden age of model cars, in my opinion, with the internet, with all the technology, all the manufacturers that sell parts and pieces. It's really a good time. If it wasn't for the fact that technology has advanced, because I've wanted to dabble and build a model for many, many years, but the wheels were the biggest hiccup for me. The carburetors were the biggest hiccup for me from working with the one-to-ones to build what I wanted to build. The wheels that I like in this day and age, they don't produce in a kit. So that's where the 3D printing has to rely for my builds anyhow. It might not be for a lot of you guys, but for me, that is critical for me, just for how my flair has changed in taste. So, but again, it's all coming from the one-to-one side. the things that we build out there and the things that we build with some of my other buddies' stuff in their shops. So this is a good thing, though. It's a great memory that I've got here, especially, you know, thinking about with my father and stuff right now, and what he's going through. Just brings good memories back with all the stuff that him and my grandfather have taught me. I still use a lot of that advice. I still try to do things and learn every day. And I hope someday my son will be doing the same thing, trying to inspire somebody when he's in his 40s or 50s in a positive light to just do it, you know, just have fun, do it, and enjoy the things that you do in your life, and just share your knowledge. So that's what we're here to do, and we're going to have fun doing it while we're here on this spinning rock and go forward. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.